All right, welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to kind of go over pretty much everything I have that's pyro related. These things are just a few of what I have. I have a lot more of that in another room. I just didn't want to bring it all out. But I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of the tools that I use, what I started on, and obviously this is going to get a lot more. I guess my tools are going to get, I'm going to get a lot more. This is just what I have for now, but it's very expensive when it starts to go up into the pricing as far as like the sizes. I have spent a lot on what I bought, but it's all worth it in the end. I mean, if you can make your own fireworks and it actually works, it just had that feeling of gratification, like, oh man, that thing worked out so well. Most of my tooling is from Woody's. I do get a lot of my tools from them. But a few of the other things that I have, I don't remember where I got it from. This is just something I 3D printed when I first started out with a few tools. So first tool that I started with, which is this little baby rocket, is the 1/4 inch. These are really fun to use like in a backyard, testing out little rockets. As far as your black powder goes, these are really fun. They're very cheap. You can get those on, I guess, Pyro Creations, which goes on to this next one is where I got this. This is a 1/4 inch, and this is the 5/16 tooling. This one is super solid, like it's very heavy compared to this guy that's super light. This one's a single rammer. Obviously it's got the hollow end, and then you got the solid end over here. The 5/16 and these little guys, they're like beginner rockets. I'm not sure if that was out of the frame or not, but the 5/16 and the 1/4 inch. The smallest little rockets you can get is the 1/4 inch, unless there's something smaller than that. Drop down in the comments because I'm not sure. I thought that was probably, I think that's the smallest. And then it goes on to the 1/2 inch. I do like the 1/2 inch the most. It's my favorite size. I guess I'll go over this one next because this is kind of an interesting one right here. So this here is the Stinger tool, a very small spindle, 1/2 inch tube or a 1/2 inch ID, the hollow rammer, solid rammer as always. The cool thing about this one from Woody's is that it comes with, well, the Allen key to lock in the spindle so you can swap them out. But one of the cool things is that it comes with this drill guide right here, and you just stick the tube in here and it allows you to drill the tangential, however they pronounce it, the hole to spin, which is what they use for ground blooms. Excuse me one second, I should have closed this door. Is what they use for like ground blooms, stuff like that. Your speedballs, the zippers, twister sticks, all those, they have that kind of hole in them. Like I said, this is 1/2 inch. I have yet to try these. I haven't really launched any. I have one inside that I made, but I haven't launched it or anything like that just yet. So I'm gonna eventually start doing more demos of what I have as far as like the, you know, the quality of the fireworks that I've made. Then the next tooling I have is the 1/2 inch, or I'm sorry, yeah, I want to say this is 1/2 inch. Yeah, the 1/2 inch rocket. It has a larger spindle. Obviously it looks different from the Stinger, but this one I got off of Woody's. 1/2 inch rockets, these things, they have a really good amount of thrust to them. They fly really high. For these little plastic pieces, I 3D printed them. The only reason I did that was because my arbor press on some of the beginning stages of the increments, it's too small, or too short rather, and the arbor press would stop and I wouldn't be able to press it unless I would use a brick or something or a piece of wood underneath. But then I printed these out and the rammer would just hit perfectly on top. Oh, I'm sorry, the arbor press would hit right on top of the rammer and it would just press it perfectly. So as I was starting to press the increments, then I had to swap out to this, the solid. Obviously it's shorter, so I had to also print that. Obviously with these, I'm gonna end up taking them off because now that I have the press, I don't need those anymore. I can actually drop it down low enough for me to press. And this is my buzz bomb. This one's just a, I guess like a cone forming for the clay. you usually drill the hole there in this area right here, and that allows the gases to escape around the clay and not burn the hole through the tubing so fast. The buzz bombs I really do like. I enjoy making those more than I do with the rockets. I have a lot more of these wings. These are just the ones that I have in a package, but I have like 2 or 3 more bags of these. Only one site that I found sells these, and that's firefox.com or firefoxfx.com. They took forever to ship these out. I mean, I ordered them and it took about 3 weeks to even reply to me that they were going to send them, and I thought I got scammed until I mentioned, hey, I'm going to, cancel the transaction, the credit card. Then they were like, oh wait, we sent them out already. Sorry, we didn't send you the tracking. Long story short, I ended up getting them. I ended up ordering 100 because I didn't want to deal with them, keep ordering stuff. So these are really nice. These just slide onto the 1/2-inch tube. They spin around, they go up in the air, and if you put a report in there, they sound really nice with the report. These are just the rocket fins. I use these for my 1/2-inch. I just kind of throw some hot glue in there, melt the tube in there and pretty much send them up. Let's see here. So this one is my 5/8 rocket, and this one is actually the cohete rocket tools from Woody's. These use the 5/8 inch. This is the largest rocket that I currently have. Obviously, I'm going to move up to the 1 pounder, 3 pounders eventually, but for now, I'm just using these 5/8 rockets. They have a lot of power, a lot of thrust, so I'm a little wary using those because sometimes the rocket takes off super fast, and if your stick's not stabilized or straight, it could curve, and I don't want to hit anybody's house, so I generally don't use those. I've been using the tubes from the 5/8 for this gerb kit here, which is what I bought. So instead of using the rockets, I've been using the gerb tooling for the tubes. This one I got off of Firefox as well. It works really well. The tooling, I would say it's decent. This tool right here, and it doesn't really fit perfectly in the tube. Kind of wiggles just a little bit, so some of the powder kind of jumps out when you press it. But overall, it works just fine with the nozzle they created or whatever. That works just fine for the gerb. It's got pretty good sparks, as you've seen in some of my other videos I posted. You can see that. Now this one here I just got. It's pretty much, it only has one purpose, which is a 1/2-inch, but what this thing does is it creates a bulkhead for you. So traditionally you would take a hollow rammer or a solid rammer, you would press in an increment up top of clay, then you'd come back with your drill and drill that out. But what this thing does is you take this pin, right, and you put it in here, and it's spring loaded. So you place that into the tube and you press it, and it compresses this thing in here, and once you take this out, the pin stays in there. So then if you want to put more clay in there, the instructions say that you're supposed to put black powder for your delay charge and then put some clay, but I usually don't do that because I don't really use delays much. So I actually fill up a pretty good amount of clay in here, and then whenever you're done with the clay, you take this tool here, you slide it in here, and it's supposed to line up like that, and then you just kind of wiggle it and pull it out, and it leaves a really nice bulkhead hole. Very nice size. It looks real smooth, and it doesn't drill into it. So if you're using any type of aluminum, magnesium, something like that, some kind of flash or something that's at the top of the tube, or on top of the spindle rather, you don't really want to use a drill bit for that. It could cause a spark or something. So I like using this tool. It works really well. And pretty much you've seen this before, which is just my star plate, nothing special. It's a 3/8 inch star plate. The last thing that I have is this nice press, I guess it's a P2F gauge or something. It's just the pressure to force, but this thing, I think it was like $125 on Woody's. Solid aluminum block, I guess. It's very well constructed. I like using this on my press because I can press this, and as I'm spinning the knob, you'll see the gauge start to climb as whatever pressure you want. And according to Woody's, this thing tells you 1,000 psi, and that's actually 1,000 pounds of force. They also send you some pressing information, which tells you if you apply 1,000 pounds of force to a 1/2 inch tool, it'll actually provide about 6,000 PSI of compression for the black powder. And you know, obviously you can increase the pressure or whatever that is. Anyway, this was just a video of what I have as far as my tools. Hope you enjoyed it. You know, I don't really do a lot of editing on the videos because I'm not doing YouTube as a full-time thing, so I'm not like a professional recorder or anything. Hopefully, you know, everything that I wanted to get out came out in the video. And if you have any questions or any suggestions, anything like that, please just comment down below. Anyways, thank you for watching.